It's a rainy Tuesday evening, and you're staring at your phone, hovering over a name in your contacts. You haven't spoken to them in 6 months. You remember the way you used to laugh until your ribs ached, the way you could finish each other's sentences, the shared history that felt like a fortress. But as you look at the screen, you feel this strange, cold paralysis. You realize you don't know how to bridge the gap. You don't have a reason to call. And the thought of a catch up feels like a mountain you're too tired to climb. So, you close the app, roll over, and let the blue light of a random feed wash over you instead. You're surrounded by digital noise, but in the physical quiet of your room, you realize you haven't been seen by a friend in weeks. We're living through something sociologists are calling the friendship recession. It's a quiet, structural hollowing out of our social lives. It's not that we've become meaner or more antisocial. It's that the infrastructure of our connection has collapsed. We are the most linked generation in history, and yet we are experiencing a systemic insolvency of intimacy. We've been told that our loneliness is a personal failure of effort, but the truth is, we are trying to build cathedrals of friendship on a foundation of shifting sand. If you feel like your social circle has shrunk to the size of a postage stamp, I need you to know that it isn't just you. You aren't bad at being a friend. You are a human being living through a social bankruptcy. We've optimized our lives for efficiency and output, and in the process, we've accidentally deleted the useless minute, the very space where friendship actually lives. You aren't lonely. You are socially malnourished by a world that serves nothing but data-based calories. Think about the phantom itch of the schedule. We've been gaslit into believing that every social interaction must be an event. A dinner, a trip, a curated hangout. We've lost the ability to just be in each other's vicinity without a plan. We are treating our friends like line items on a balance sheet, and when we're low on energy, we cut the spending. But friendship isn't an expense, it's the currency itself. Let's look at the first layer of this recession, the death of the mundane. Historically, friendship wasn't a choice we made every day. It was a byproduct of the third place, the neighborhood, the park, the porch. But in 2026, those places have been monetized or digitized. We've traded the slow life of spontaneous proximity for the optimized life of scheduled appointments. When you have to plan a coffee 3 weeks in advance, the friendship becomes a task. It loses its oxygen. We've removed the weight of the physical world and replaced it with the hyper-reality of the feed. We see our friends' lives in photos, so we feel like we've seen them, but your nervous system knows the difference between a pixel and a person. We are missing the versions of our friends that were allowed to be boring. The second layer is what I call the performance of presence. Because so much of our life is now perceivable online, we feel the need to bring our best self to our friends. We feel like we have to have news or a take or a vibe. This is the ultimate efficiency paradox. We are so overstimulated by the spectacle of other people's curated lives that we fear our own unedited footage is too dull to share. So we wait. We wait until we're doing better, or until we have something interesting to say. We are ghosting our own lives because we've been trained to be product managers of our identities. But friendship doesn't need a product, it needs an inhabitant. We are starving for closeness because we're too busy managing our brand to be vulnerable. The third layer is social desensitization. We spend our days being perceived by thousands of strangers online, managing context collapse, where our boss, our ex, and our neighbors are all in the same digital room. By the time we actually sit down with a real friend, our social battery isn't just low, the hardware is overheating. We've spent our intimacy on gray noise, the low-value engagement of the feed, and we have nothing left for the foreground of a real conversation. This is the friendship recession in its final form. We are surrounded by ghosts, so we become ghosts ourselves. We've turned the symphony of a shared life into a data stream, and data doesn't keep you warm at night. So, how do we break the social insolvency? How do we find our way back to the territory of each other? The shift has to be from transaction to inhabitation. A transactional model asks, is this hangout worth the effort? An inhabitant model asks, can we just be tired in the same room? It's a radical act of digital sobriety to invite someone over when your house is a mess and you have nothing to say. It's choosing the inefficient connection. It's realizing that staying in touch is a poor substitute for sharing a space. We have to reclaim the low-stakes hang, the grocery store run, the silent reading hour, the walk where you both just look at the trees. We have to de-optimize our hearts. We have to be willing to be useless together, because useless time is the only time where the soul can actually breathe. You aren't a user to be engaged. You are a person who needs the weight of another human to feel solid. I'm not saying you should call everyone in your phone. I'm saying you should stop letting the industrial ghost of productivity haunt your social life. You don't need a reason to reach out. The reach is the reason. The people you miss are likely sitting in the same gray noise you are. They are also waiting for the reveal before they feel worthy of being seen. They are also malnourished by the simulation. The world is much wider than your schedule. It has textures and silences that the algorithm wants you to forget. It wants you to believe that distance is the only thing there is. But you can bridge the gap if you're willing to be unoptimized. You can find the third place if you stop looking at the map they gave you. Tonight, before you scroll past another name you love, don't send a meme. Don't like a post. Just tell them you're tired and you'd like to be tired together for an hour. Why does it feel so much more vulnerable to ask for nothing than to ask for everything? Because nothing is where the friendship actually lives. Good night.